times, has gotten really hard. But at the same time, it's so needed. And I don't believe that we should even use the pandemic as an excuse, because we've seen during this pandemic so many injustices continue. We've protested and we've rioted, we've posted about it, we done Juneteenth it, and it's like, at the end of the day, if we don't get this money and do it for ourselves, they're not gonna come and be like, oh yeah, you're right, we were racist, here's your reparations. Like, it's not gonna happen. So we have to do it for ourselves, and it can't be me against you. It got to be me plus you plus you plus you. Let's go get it for ourselves.
3, 2, 1, roll 5.
It's time to help you unlock your greatness and be amazing. That's it. This is the AMAZIN Podcast. And we're featuring the amazing stories of entrepreneurs, creatives, and business owners sharing their journey to being amazing. That's right. Average to Amazing presents the AMAZIN Podcast. And now, here's your host.
Talk to him.
Mr. Amazing himself.
Don't move. Keep it locked.
You already know.
Henry Goss.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the AMAZIN Podcast, where we're here to help you unlock your greatness and be amazing. I'm your host, Henry Amazing, and on this episode, I have two dynamic women who have created something really special, and we're gonna get into that. So, but first, Alexis and Jailaih, how are y'all days? How did your day go?
Today was a good Monday for me. The weather was beautiful. I was able to accomplish a lot. So today was great.
Today was also good for me as well. It was just super jam-packed, which I feel like if you're busy, you're doing great.
Facts. So go ahead, introduce yourselves to the people and let us know a little bit about what you do.
My name is Alexis Smith. I am a native New Orleanian. I call myself a social entrepreneur just because I love working in the community and tackling social issues that pertain to our people. So I'm the chairman of a board called Us Helping Us New Orleans. I'm co-founder of the market with my, and then I'm also the education director for Scholars.
And my name is Jailaih Gowdy. I am actually a Hattiesburg native from the Hattiesburg Gulf Coast area. I am a certified personal trainer, so super passionate about health and wellness. And that's just something that's been instilled in me for a really long time. And then along with that, I am co-founder of the Forest Bias Market, and I'm also the manager of the Engagement Center here at Tulane University.
Wow, that is incredible. So I guess, how did you all meet? How did this partnership come about?
So we actually met. She was actually the first person that I met from New Orleans when I moved. We met working in a gym, and she trained me on pretty much how to manage the gym. She was kind of the current manager at the time. And then from there, our friendship just kind of blossomed. Alexis shared with me how involved she was with the New Orleans community. I always call Alexis like my first grown woman friend because she was just always on her stuff. So just from there, I just kind of attended her community events and really liked what she was doing. And then last year, my birthday fell on Blackout Tuesday. So really was just a time for me to be reflective on how I can be involved in what was going on. And with me being super passionate about health and wellness, I knew this was something that could be done, just didn't know how. So I partnered with my girl, Alexis, and she just kind of added her own spin of business development and circulation for Black communities. So from there, it's just been, I call it the perfect partnership in all my little interviews.
Yes, it has definitely been a perfect partnership for sure.
So you all meet. When did you decide, hey, let's create this market. Let's create this platform or this space for people that look like us to basically offer their product services and, really just engage in the community and be active in the community.
We met about 2 years ago, and then Jailaih approached me with this idea almost a year ago now.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Okay.
And I think just kind of seeing from honestly, there's no name to it yet, but I'm sure there will be. But I know for a fact there's like a huge, huge renaissance going on in New Orleans, specifically with Black business owners and just trying to dive into the health and wellness sector, especially with COVID. Obviously, like health has been the biggest topic. So that was just kind of a huge push for us to want to create something like this. And also just to change the narrative that Black people can't be healthy, because there are obviously thousands of businesses owned by Black people teaching health and wellness, but it's just they don't have access to Black communities. So that was kind of
Absolutely. And I was just going to say, for me, when Jailaih approached me with the idea, it was just right on track with everything that I believe in. I run a nonprofit for youth called Us Helping Us New Orleans. And everything that we teach is about total health. When people say prosperity, it's total health. It's mental health, it's financial health, it's physical health. And so preaching all of these things and realizing they didn't have an outlet for it, and then Jailaih approaching me with this idea, it was an opportunity to really, create something that we both really believed in, that we hadn't seen before. And there is a movement going on, but I also want to say we kind of like pioneered it as well in New Orleans.
I didn't want to
throw that out there. Just want to throw that out there.
Definitely saw a lot more health and wellness pop-ups after the FUBU market.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, which is dope.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like this is something that needs to bring global awareness for Black people around the world. And the more it's accessible and the more people understand it and realize the importance of it, the more we can really help these businesses grow, with the FUBU market being so mobile and us bringing it to different places.
Right. So take me to the first time you all, had your first event. Walk me through that.
So the first event was lit, if I do say so myself. I just to kind of, and I'll let Alexis paint the picture of how the Us Helping Us building looks, because that alone, where we host the FUBU market, our home space is just really, really, really dope. But we had over 19 vendors participate, and the vendors usually range from, like Alexis said, all different facets of health. So physical health, they help with mental health, spiritual, financial health. So a lot of the vendors were centered around those different aspects. We had healthy food option vendors, so KMN Gourmet, which is a chef out here in Louisiana, and she makes vegan food, so like vegan beignets. She's made vegan, not no salads. So she specializes in vegan gourmet.
You can be vegan and eat good.
Right. And then we had Original Thought Food Truck come out, and he prepares vegan options. We'll also have Taste of the Tropics, which is a FUBU market fave. She prepares juices and sea moss gels. And then we'll have other vendors that'll come out, such as Community Resources. So we'll have, we've partnered with Black-owned clinics before, Urgent Care 11 here in New Orleans, and they'll come out and speak about COVID. And now I won't speak all on it. I'll let Alexis talk about it.
Oh yeah, we do a lot of community outreach. We've just always picked really amazing vendors, honestly. And the first one was a real big kickoff for us. We had no idea what we were creating until it all came together. And our first one, so many politicians sought out to speak. We invited some politicians, but then everyone who was in a campaign wound up gravitating towards the FUBU market. And then that's really when we became truly and fully aware that we had created something that was amazing, honestly. I can't use a different word. The vibes, to see so many families. Man, a lady came to the market. I get to the market really early because I manage the building, our home building that it's in. So I get to the market really early to open up the building. And a lady came about 6:30 in the morning and said, I will buy something from every single vendor if you help me register to vote. Because that was one of our big platforms we started off with as well, was just making sure our people were registered to vote at the market also. And so just for people to see so much need of them being there and seeing that they really could benefit, and then just seeing all the networking that was happening, all the people that were in the room. And even though all walks of life are welcome, Black people had a platform and had the stage where people would listen. The fact that all those politicians wanted to come here from Black business owners, you know, and speak to them. And we told them, we're not endorsing anybody. This is to hold you accountable. And if you want the Black vote, come and earn it. And not that we're all going to vote the same way. Every person in here has their own mind, but here's a space where we can all speak and everyone's voice should be heard. And so just to see that come together was amazing.
Mm-hmm. And just to also see too, the family that was created between us and the business owners was just something that we talked about and we discussed, because we're all about helping the businesses grow and teaching them how to market themselves. But just to see how thankful they were for that after really kind of reined in for us how needed this was.
All right. So tell me, what does for us, by us mean to you all?
For me, just exactly what it says. It's for us, by us. It's truly for the community, and it's from the people of the community. So many of our communities filled with other nationalities coming in, buying up the land, polluting our communities with terrible food options, you know, and really monopolizing the business that happens in those communities. This is to create a change all over, not just in New Orleans, where we start to buy up the block. We support our businesses. We make every other nationality rich. It's time for us to pull it together and make each other rich. There's enough wealth out here for all of us, and it doesn't have to be a crab in a bucket, you know, situation for Black people.
And that is not reverse discrimination, as I was told when I was describing this to other people.
Yeah, no, it's not reverse discrimination. This is Black pride. This is saying, you know, I see my brother, and white people have done it for years. They put their sons on, they put their friends on, they go golfing and make decisions. Well, we're going to party and get this health popping together.
Yeah. And it's interesting though, because I know in my own experience, or from what I've seen, is whenever it's us trying to come together and, you know, support one another, support our, you know, our own businesses, basically just support our people, it's an issue. However, no one has an issue when you go to certain cities and there's you know, Koreatown, there's a little Chinatown, you know, there's the, you know, Jewish community. And go ahead.
No, I'm sorry to cut you off, but this has been their plot since the very beginning. When they picked us up and put us on those ships and brought us over here, the first thing they did was beat us for speaking our native tongue. They tore up families. They've always provided this system of divide and conquer. You know, even in Jim Crow, or when welfare was introduced, you couldn't get it if a man lived in the household. Then there was this, you know, war on crime, and they drag our men to jail by the loads. They've always had this system in place where they know that they can keep us poor, they can keep us ignorant, they can keep us second-class citizens if they divide the family. And the whole crack epidemic, putting that in our neighborhoods was for us to start killing each other. This has always been their plot. And so to see us come together and circulate wealth and then knowledge at the same time, this is what they don't want.
And it's dangerous to them.
It's very dangerous. So yeah, they label it reverse racism. How can the person that's been discriminated against, speak knowledge to their people, do something against you guys when you still in positions of power, you still make laws that are partial, impartial against us and all this stuff? Like it doesn't even make sense. The whole idea of reverse racism is just another thing to throw at us to keep us from coming together, period.
Have y'all seen them?
I have not seen them just yet. I've heard reviews. I've heard that it's like, it looks very similar to like Jordan Peele's Us, but I don't know if like the actual movie.
I would say Jordan Peele is a little more on the thriller side. Them was way more like horror, gory, bloody type vibes, but I won't spoil what happened. But there's a scene in there where basically the first season is about a Black family moving to Compton, and all of their white neighbors are basically trying to force them to move out, and they called a town meeting. And one of the neighbors was stating how Black people were like mold, how, when you try to scrape out mold, like it just sticks there, just stays. I would go so far to say that's actually racism because it is just so grimy and dirty and takes so much energy to even put out. Just when things like that are shared of, this is reverse discrimination and this is doing this, these things wouldn't even have to be in place if we were truly included. And was
period.
You know what I mean? So if we have to make this is obviously a response to something else. So if we have to make these spaces, it's obviously a reason as to why. But yeah, we can speak all day on this, Henry. So let us continue.
I didn't understand it. I'm definitely just as passionate. And
look, I saw you like waving your hand.
Oh yeah, I was just like ready, like preach.
Yeah.
And I guess what happened for me, because I guess it's like that James Baldwin quote. It's like my mind just went blank. But basically, to know what's going on and be aware is to be in a constant, state of rage. I'm paraphrasing, but I feel that quote because similar to how you were saying that basically the fact that we have to create our own opportunities and our own platforms to support our people obviously shows that it's been a lack of that.
Exactly.
I think what really was disheartening for me is to realize that, as you all both said before, that's part of the system. And they don't want, it's dangerous for, our people to come together to support one another, because what we're really doing is getting access to equality and being able to play the same game that other communities have been able to play since the, inception of this country. And it's just, it gets frustrating because I start to think about just the systemic racism in the world and how just access to resources isn't the same for our community as it is for others, and how the people in power will never give us the same resources as them because it would challenge their position.
Exactly. And I feel like it's been such a negative connotation to Black people just being prideful of them creating these type of spaces. I can very, very vividly remember when me and Lex first started, when we were just passing out flyers, like downtown New Orleans, like we was just on the streets, just telling people, hey, we're having this all Black farmers market. Even if I say all Black, like it is an immediate, why would you say that? why would you call this all Black? Like, I don't like that. Like, it's just immediate shutting it down and just immediate.
And to add to that, Jay, I'm sorry, but I want to cut you off that this has been done to us for so long that our people are traumatized by it, that we had that response even from Black people. You know, and that was really disheartening. Like, this is for you. But just, you know, the system beating on them so much that it's been a brainwashing that has happened to us from this. And that's why us creating our own spaces is so desperately needed. To one, for the undoing, and then two, for the growth.
What was it like for you all to redo the market, but in a different state? What was that like?
We're constantly coming up against challenges, and I'll let Jailaih, you know, really go into it because she's really spearheaded this whole Hattiesburg initiative. But we've been facing a lot of challenges. Again, just people not understanding the importance of it. And that is a huge pillar of the forest bias market, is the education of why this is needed. And why you should understand its value to the community and put an importance on it, you know. And so just, you know, finding the vendors and allowing them to trust us with their business, because we understand that, you know, if you operate a normal way, and you may not be rich, but it's for show money if you do it this way. We understand that you're taking a chance on maybe missing out on money, working with us, but it's in our mission. It's the first thing you see on our website. This is about economic circulation. Our jobs are to make sure that these businesses are successful. And so if you speak to any one of our past vendors, they will tell you, just being a part of the forest bias market, they've seen a huge business growth. They get a bunch of support from us, not only advertisement, but we provide marketing materials. And then we push your products, you know, all during the market. We make sure we're encouraging people to purchase. And that's what our job is. It's not just to throw a marketplace, but it's to make sure that the marketplace is patronized and that these businesses receive support, not only from us, but from the, you know, political sphere, from the community. And not just businesses, but artists as well, you know? And so, yeah, Jay.
That was actually perfect. I think that the biggest thing that I've noticed, and honestly, I wouldn't even say that it's an issue. Everything that I've noticed has always been a sign for more growth for our organization. So anything that I noticed within the Mississippi market, where I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like something huge that we never thought of, it just provides another opportunity for growth for us. So definitely just trying to communicate with the community what we've done so far and that this is going to work has definitely been probably the biggest difference, because in New Orleans, like I said, it's definitely like a Renaissance movement. Like, people definitely are trying to get involved with health and wellness in some sort of fashion. But in Hattiesburg, it's just a little bit more spread out. It's obviously not that many people. And also too, I would say another big thing was there was an issue before with like the laws that have been passed. Like, I know that they tried to pass the medicinal cannabis law, and like there was a whole debate with Tate, like those things like that, politic things like that, just for the future when we take it out of state, just to keep those things in mind. Because obviously, like, the vibe here is completely different in Louisiana when it comes to medicinal cannabis. I mean, obviously it's the same vibes, but Tate Reeves doesn't want to acknowledge it in Mississippi. So just being cognizant of those things in different states and what's going on in those states. But other than that, everybody else in Mississippi has been super excited for the event. It's just trying to get those vendors to take that chance with their business.
And I'll definitely say which of course I know I'm thinking ahead, but if you all ever want, well, not if you want to do it, I'm gonna get that. But when you all do one in Jackson, I definitely want to, extend a helping hand, just whatever way I can of assistance. I would love to, partner with you guys, just be a resource so we can, keep growing this, because this is an amazing platform that you all are building and have built. But I say building because it's going to grow even further than what it is now. But I'll say, because I have two questions, but the first question is for someone who may see the need in their community and they have an idea, but they're kind of scared because either A, no one has done it in their city or in their community, or they just are, afraid to go after or execute on an idea to benefit their community. What piece of advice would you give them?
I live my life by there's no failures. You can the L's aren't losses, they're lessons, and you're never gonna know if something is going to be successful unless you try. I'm a firm believer of the only limit that there is are the ones that we put on ourselves. So I love taking life by the horns and pushing myself to see, how much I can expand my capacity to learn, to grow, to be successful. I'm a really faithful person when it comes to my spirituality. And it says that God provides exceedingly abundantly above all that we could ever think or imagine. So what Satan does is the doubt. Satan is the fear, and so if God can create more than we can even imagine, then it's our job to push ourselves and to push beyond that. So, if you try something and it doesn't work out, it doesn't mean it's over. It just means it's time to pivot. And when you shut something down from growing, that's the only failure that there is, so do it to the fullest. You only shortchange yourself if you don't do it to the fullest, and so just, working by those beliefs, anything is possible.
I want to thank you both, Jailaih and Alexis, for coming on the podcast and just sharing your gems, sharing your journey, and, really just everything you all are doing with the Forest Buyers Market. But before you all go, I have to ask you the question that I ask all my guests, and it is this: what makes you amazing?
I am amazing because every day I wake up and I try. And I not only try for myself, but I really love encouraging other people to try. And so, that's why I love what we do with the Forest Buyers Market. It's not about me and Jay. It's really about us. And that's why it's us, for us, by us. And so, really helping other people grow and helping their business grow makes me feel amazing. It makes me amazing.
I would say what makes me amazing is, my ability to want to learn. I feel like there's no such thing as too much knowledge and understanding and wisdom. And that's something that I strive to obtain every day when I do wake up. And with that, I just hope that, people see God within me and that they don't really see Jailaih. So like Alexis said, we always say that this organization is blessed. If anything arises that's supposed to stress us out, we just say that's how it's supposed to go. So just being able to, just have that perseverance and to be able to obtain those things throughout my day and with my experiences is what makes me amazing.
Thank you for listening to the AMAZIN Podcast. Be sure to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and follow us on all social media at the AMAZIN Podcast. We'll see you here next time.